Welcome, e-learners. All right, here we go, everybody. Special quads, you already know the names. Square, rectangle, rhombus, trapezoid, kite. Which one did I forget? I said rectangle. Rhombus, kite, trapezoid. All right. So here we go. Today we're going to be using slope. So there's the slope equation, and we're going to be using the distance equation. There's the distance equation. You're welcome. Next. If no sides are parallel, it's a kite. So think about the drawing for a kite. The top and bottoms aren't parallel, and the left and rights aren't parallel. But remember, a kite's symmetric, but nothing's parallel. Okay? If no sides are, this kind of bothers me right there. It's a kite. Ready? Go fly a kite. Okay, if one set of sides is parallel, it's a trapezoid. Hello, what just happened? It's a trapezoid. It's isosceles trap if the other sides are congruent. Oh my gosh, the drawing's on the board right now in purple. That's an isosceles trapezoid. Okay, so we already know these shapes. Like really, we could have taught this last week, but we're just we wanted the quiz to be on Thursday, so it's all good. Side 2. Oh, I don't think there's anything for you to, oh, are yours blank?
Yeah.
Okay. If both sets are parallel, it's either a square, I'm just going to write SQ, a rhombus, I'm just going to write RH, a rectangle, RECT, or a parallelogram. Okay, so those are my abbreviations for those big fancy words. You can use them too. I know rhombus isn't that big of a word. 2 syllables. Square's 1 syllable. But I'm still going to abbreviate them. Okay. Have we talked about all of those shapes? Heck yeah, we have. We just took a quiz over them. Are you ready? Click. It's a rectangle. I'll write out the whole word just to stall. If the slopes are opposite reciprocal, but the diagonals are not opposite reciprocals, what in the snap does that mean? Okay, here's what that means. Everybody knows what a rectangle looks like, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Let's say if this was slanted just a little. That's going to be hard to draw. There we go. Okay, so let's say that the slope was 2/3. And this slope was 2/3. Well, then that would mean that this slope would have to be -3/2, and this would have to be -3/2. Rectangle. Okay. Its slope. That's a sideways rectangle. Go ahead, try to draw it. Didn't feel right. Because when was the last time you drew a rectangle crooked?
Never.
Right, never. Because it looks like a diamond. Not a rectangle. Just didn't feel right. Okay, hey, where, so that I can show you what opposite reciprocals mean. 2/3, -3/2, if those are the slopes. Okay, you guys know where the diagonals are, right? The diagonals are here and here, right? You right. Okay. And click. It's a square. that the slopes are opposite reciprocals and the diagonals are also opposite reciprocals. Oh my gosh, are you really behind already? Page 1, slide 3, kite. What world is that? It's okay, I'm there in that world. For me, it's... Ready? Okay. Oh, what's the next shape? It's a rhombus. Rhombus. If the slopes are not opposite reciprocals, but the diagonals are opposite reciprocals. Okay, let's talk about this one. Are you ready? It's a rhombus. Okay, so I'm going to draw a rhombus. Here we go. What's a rhombus? Oh yeah, it's a slanted square, like this.
And what's the slanted rectangle called?
Nothing. Oh, dang it.
Yeah, that was not it.
It's hard to draw these. It's hard to draw these. Okay, so let's say that this was 2/3, and this was 2/3, and this was -1/4, and this was -1/4. Okay, are those opposite reciprocals? Are 2/3 and -1/4 opposite reciprocal? No. Okay, but then if I drew this slope and I said that that was 1/5, and then I drew this guy and I said that that slope was -5/1, are those opposite reciprocals? Heck yeah. It's a ton of slope. So if you can subtract, you can do slope. Look, I learned how to subtract. What'd you do in school today? I learned how to subtract. Ready? Hike. Dang, the shapes just keep on coming. It is is this side 3? It's a blank if there are no opposite reciprocals at all. What is it if there is no opposite reciprocals at all? We're going to call it a parallelogram. Parallelogram, parallelogram. Parallelogram. Okay, now remember, this COVID school year, these notes will all be fair game for the quizzes and tests, you know? Okay, so this next slide, I was just like, I could really draw it out with all the words in it, but why would I do that when you guys could get a chance to write them all down? Are you ready? Okay. So, in the world of special quadrilaterals, there's a kite and nothing else is like a kite. There's a trapezoid. But there's a trapezoid, but there's also a special type of trapezoid. What's a special type of trapezoid? Yeah, there's an isosceles trapezoid also. Okay, so those dudes are kind of alike. And then in the world of special quadrilaterals, there's something called a parallelogram. And then if you put a rhombus and a rectangle together, we already had this question on a quiz, it's a square.
Are we ever going to have to spell parallelogram out all the way?
I did once on this slide. I did it right there. It's open notes. Just for you, yes. Parallelogram. Okay, are we ready to try one? Here we go. What type of shape is it? It's time to play. Name that shape.
What did you sound like?
Because I think I could be. Name that shape. I even have a microphone and everything.
Sounds like the price is right.
That was the whole objective.
Thank you.
You're supposed to tell them.
Yep. I could plug in the microphone and really
Thank you.
make it fun for first hour class on a Monday. Okay, here we go. One example and then one chart. Hopefully, oh, wait, 2 charts. We can totally do this. Okay, so the charts go by fast, trust me. All right, 2 to the left, 3 up. I'm going to call that L. 2 to the right, 5 up. I'm going to call that K. 6 to the right, 2, 4, 6, 3 up. Do, 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 do. That's N. And then M is 2 to the right, 1 up. I'm going to call that M. Okay, so now if I were to connect those dots,
Wait, is N?
I know alphabetically you would think that M should go there, but it's not.
No. N is in between 2 and the 3.
2, 1. This one's supposed to be 6 to the right, 3 up. It's close enough. I can draw the dot bigger. Here, watch. Oh yeah, now it is.
Oh my.
Okay, so it doesn't look like much of anything, right? There, I messed up on your notes. I used to make these problems a lot harder, okay? And I used to make them do distance equation. But this time, we're going to do, what time? Oh, we got time. 6 slopes. And I'm even going to make it easy for you. I'm going to give you the letters for the slopes. See, that shouldn't be there. Sorry. So you guys, that was,
So, okay.
no, that was from a long time ago when we used to make these problems way harder than they were.
So I can just ignore that.
Yeah, but now you're going to have to find room to do this work. Okay, ready, set,
So,
here we go.
good.
There's going to be an LK, and I want to know the slope of LK. So the slope of LK is 5 minus 3, and you've already done this, and 2 minus negative 2. So that's 2/4, which is a half. Okay, what segment does LK need to be parallel to, if it's parallel? Which one does it need to be parallel to? MN. So let's try MN. So MN better be a half, otherwise we can eliminate a lot of shapes. Okay, so MN, here we go, slope MN. So it's going to be 1 minus 3. Aw, dang it. Can you tell that that's a 3? My handwriting on Mondays is bad. And then 2 minus 4. So that's negative 2 over negative, wait a second. That's a 6. Silly goose. I was thinking of the answer. Hey, look at that. These dudes are parallel, even though my terrible drawing kind of looks like they aren't. They are parallel. Aw. Okay, so now we got to find the slope of LM and KN. Ready? Here we go. LM, LM, 3 minus 3. What? Wait a second. No, LM. I'm just slacking today. LM, first and last. 1 minus 3. Thank goodness. 2 minus negative 2.
That is 1 minus 2, not 1.
So here's the deal. Watching that Scooby-Doo brought a lot of bad memories, and now I'm messing up.
How did that bring us bad
Do
memories?
I always have to do that?
I
Or
actually
can I just
play.
automatically put a plus sign?
You can automatically put a plus sign there.
You
I did at one point play D&D.
What is that?
You've never played
It's
Dungeons
like
and Dragons?
Yeah.
KN. KN. Here we go. We're going to try this one. KN. Those are the middle ones. Please be negative a half. Please be negative a half. Let's find out. 3 minus 5. 6 minus 2. That's negative dose over quattro. Hey, look at that. Okay. So now I knew the answer. So now this blue line is the same as that blue line. Okay? So those guys, those slopes, make those parallel. Are these, here comes the tough question, are these opposite reciprocals of each other? They're opposites, right? One's positive, one's negative, but are they flippy flip? No. Okay, so that eliminates anything that has a right angle. So see you later, square. See you later, rectangle. Okay, so right now it could be a rhombus or a parallelogram. Got it? Is there any other shapes that it could be? Let's look. It couldn't be a kite. Yeah, but we don't have that shape. It couldn't be a trapezoid. So this guy's gone. These guys are gone. It could be a parallelogram, or it could be a rhombus. So the only way to tell is to check their diagonals. So to check their diagonals, dot, 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 dot. If they make a right angle, which they kind of look like they will, if they make a right angle, then it's a rhombus. Okay? If they don't, it's a parallelogram. That's why we did all those notes before. So I'm going to have to do this on the board because otherwise it could be a parallelogram or a rhombus. So we don't know if it's going to make a right angle or not. Just because they're parallel doesn't mean that the diagonals are perpendicular. Like it doesn't automatically make them perpendicular. Okay, ready? Here we go. So let's do LN. LN, LN, 3 minus 3. And 6 minus negative 2. What's 0 divided by anything? 0. Okay. What's the opposite reciprocal? Oh, I don't know if you guys know that. What's the opposite reciprocal of 0? Do you know what it is? Okay. I would have to flip this, right? I would have to flip that. And so what would go on the bottom then? 0. So what is the opposite reciprocal of 0 then? If you're dividing by 0. Undefined. Okay, so we're going to try for an undefined on KM. So KM, here we go. KM, 1 minus 5 and 2 minus 2. Well, thank goodness. That's negative 4 over 0. That's undefined. Are those perpendicular? Yes. Okay, so then that means that that puppy is definitely a rhombus. I got a feeling. Woo. Okay, are we ready to fill in the charts very, very fast? The charts, I promise, just sum up everything that we did for the first 3 pages, okay? So let me, this kind of looks like a daunting task, but it isn't. If you saw a drawing like this with those, those red things, and if I wrote down, find the slope of LKMN, LMKN, LNKM, so if I wrote down all 6 of them that I wanted you to find the slope for, couldn't you find the slope of all 6? But couldn't you? I mean, it took us a while. But it's slope. I mean, so you're subtracting. Okay. So I should be able to tell you which ones it is. All right. So now let's fill in some charts. Here we go. Oh, did I put trapezoid in there? Okay, here we go. Okay, a kite has no sides parallel, and it's the only one. And a kite also has opposite diagonals, are opposite reciprocal. The diagonals are opposite reciprocal. A trapezoid only has one set parallel. An isosceles has one set parallel, but the legs are also congruent. A parallelogram has both sets of sides parallel. A rectangle has both sets parallel and their opposite reciprocals. A square has both sets parallel, opposite reciprocals, and the diagonals are opposite reciprocal. And then a rhombus, you don't have right angles on the corners. I know. Connect the dots. Okay, and then one more chart. Are you ready? Okay. So here's what I did to make things a little simpler. You know that problem that we just did that took us 10 minutes to do? And we were finding slope and slope and slope and slope and slope and slope, right? These are 6 slopes. Okay, so this is one problem in red. This is one problem in blue. One problem in green, one problem in blue. And so let's just say that we went through all the work of finding all the slope, and these were my 6 answers. And then these were my 6 answers. What's the best name? So I thought, hey, let's do like 4 of these real quick so that you guys get it. Is 2/3 and -3/2, are those opposite reciprocals? Yeah. Is 1/2 and -2, are those opposite reciprocals? Heck yeah, that baby is a square. When everything is opposite reciprocals, it's going to be a square. Okay, look at the next one. This is a mess. Nothing's parallel. See these numbers, the blue ones? Nothing's parallel, but the diagonals are perpendicular. So that guy's called a kite. Think about what a kite looks like. Nothing's parallel. Okay, these guys are parallel, but not opposite reciprocal. And these guys are definitely perpendicular because 5 1/5 are opposite reciprocals. That's called a rhombus. It's a rhombus. And last but not least, opposite reciprocals here, not opposite reciprocals there. That's called a rectangle. Okay, so if you're ever doing a problem and you're like, I don't know what the name is, I don't know what the name is, you can look at this chart and you can kind of compare your answers that you got to what we know for sure are true. Okay, now hang on. So on a quiz, this problem right here would be worth 7 points. Okay? So don't overthink what the name of the shape is because it's only 1 point out of 7. Okay? Finding 6 slopes is pretty easy to do. Getting the right name, don't stress over that. Just remember that you got a chart that's going to help you out. Okay? All right. So now for the homework. I don't know why I split it into 2 pages because they're like right by each other, but oh well. It's 8 through 15. And I know it says draw the chart. Does it say draw the chart on yours? Yeah. Okay. You can just write the name if you don't want to draw the chart. If you don't want to draw the chart, you can just write the names. It's going to look like this. It's going to look like that. So if you don't want to write the chart, you can just write down the name. So like number 23 is an isosceles trapezoid. Okay. I don't know if that's right, but yeah, you just write down the names. And then on 368, Graph and find the slopes. 36 through 41. Okay, we did it. We did it. We did it. And stopping.